Yeah, you guys, it looks as though I have to kind of wait until um, the live catches my audio. So hopefully we're there. Because I noticed that once I just jump right in there, it kind of cuts off my original introduction. So let me go ahead and repeat myself. Hey, guys, it's your girl Jay. I think I have to wait maybe 26, 27 seconds in, but I thought I'd come back around here and do this video for you guys. Go live. Keep in mind, I rarely pay attention to the chat, you guys, so forgive in advance if you speak, if you're saying hi, and I'm not ignoring you. I'm just looking at my notes and running my mouth, right? So I just got done with my second live of the day, and so this is the third one, and I'm going to just, again, after this, get dolled up to get ready for my show. But I wanted to come here and talk about why I think, and of course, this is just my opinion, but it's an opinion of 15 years of being a woman in the online adult entertainment field. And so I believe I have enough experience to kind of give my opinion on why I think women are failing, age related, not age related. It could go hand in hand. I'm going to try to make it as general as possible, and I'm going to just float with it. So, again, why you're failing at OnlyFans and or camming, which is also camming is the short word of webcam modeling. So why you may be failing or why you're failing in quotations, because again, none of us are failing in life, period, right? And so here we go. I think, and I wrote down five, you guys, five reasons of why I think you're failing as an online adult entertainer on OnlyFans and or in the webcam modeling industry. I'm only speaking on those two things because I'm familiar with those. But I think this can pretty much be applied to all parts of any type of platform, right? When you have to go live and or you're content making, content creating. So the number one that I got here, and again, they're in no specific order. It's just how they came to my mind. I don't think one is more important than the other. I think they're all equally important. But number one is expectation. Expectation. What type of expectation? The money expectation. You guys, many of you, most of you, 98, 99% of you, I almost want to say 100% of you, because I'm the queen of weirdos. I think the 100% of women that get involved in this business and these types of businesses only get involved. The number one reason is to make money. Is to make money. Can I say it again? Is to make money, right? So now we have to ask, what kind of money? Well, we already know what kind of money, adult entertainment money, right? Well, how much money are you expecting to make? How much money? How often are you expecting to make it? And so once you get into all of that, that's when it gets a little not necessarily confusing, but this is where I think people say, I don't know, because I wasn't really thinking this was a job. I don't think this was really work. I didn't think I had to do all that. It don't really take all that. I was under the impression that all I had to do was upload a few pictures, put them out there, and ta-da, magic, right? Magic, no, but unfortunately, ladies, it doesn't happen that way. Now, keep in mind, that doesn't mean it doesn't happen sometimes. Guess what? There have been many times that women have joined the industry, be it webcam modeling and OnlyFans, and you logged on or you made that first video, and then out of nowhere. In fact, if you think about just content creating, period, how many people have posted their video, the fifth video, maybe the first one, and then all of a sudden it goes viral. If you look at it from that perspective. So going viral is probably equivalent to making the moolah. But this is the trick here, you guys. Listen, what I've learned about the business is this. Okay, let's just say I get a guy that comes through, and I'm specifically going to speak on webcam modeling because that's what I'm more experienced in than OnlyFans, right? But let's just say I log in tonight, right? And excuse my background, you guys, but let's just say I log in tonight and this guy comes through and bam, he hits me with like $500 just off the premises. He's like, in fact, that happened last week where I reached my goal within, I think I was on for like not even an hour. And this guy came through and just flooded me with tokens. And I didn't even have to log back into work. And I said, well, I'll be damned, right? So sometimes in the business, what I'm saying is that, yeah, you might get lucky that first day, that second day, that third day. And what happens in like anything in life, once you get your first hit, so to speak, and I don't want to make it seem like it's an addicting thing. And we're talking about, anything along the lines of illegal activity. It's noisy tonight, y'all. It's a Monday. But what I am saying is that once you get that first hit or whatever feels good to you, that dopamine rush, that money coming through, these guys just tipping you. I think this is why strippers, speaking of the industry, the other side of the industry is women that are strippers. I think it's not just the money, it is the rush, it is the lights, the music. You're doing it, you come out on the stage is what I imagine, and then they just flooding you with dollars. They're throwing dollars at you, they're throwing 20s. It's hype that night, and especially if a celebrity comes through, you guys get the visual. So all in that night, you're having a great night. In fact, go and look at, which I've done many times before, you guys. Look at the stripper vlogs. Look at the stripper story times, right? I've looked at so many stripper story times, you guys, over the years, because they have motivated me to log in. And why did they motivate me to log in? Because I am nowhere near a stripper. But they motivate me because I'm like, look at the hype, the energy. Because even though I'm a webcam model and most of my shows are non-nude, but my energy that I bring to my webcam modeling, I'm gonna have that music on, I'm gonna have them hyped, I'm gonna be sexy, I'm gonna be playful, I'm a joke, I'm a tease, I'm high energy. And it depends on what site I'm working on. That's a whole nother thing to throw in the bucket. But before I get ahead of myself, let me back up. One of the reasons, again, that you are seemingly failing at this business is because you had high expectations of the money. You simply put, you thought as soon as you put 3 or 4 videos out there, and mind you, you might have gotten real lucky that first time, because guess what? When you are in the business, now I don't know if OnlyFans does this, but in webcam modeling, when you are a newbie webcam model, the site will promote you and put you on the first front page to give the guys a chance to see you, so that way you have a chance to make your first really good, you're featured basically, right? So you have that chance. So keep in mind, when you first come along and you're a newbie, then guys want to see a fresh face. They want to see a fresh look. They want to see you, this is the new girl in town, so to speak, right? So of course you might be getting a little bit more spoiled than usual. So your first 2 weeks, your first 30 days, monies is coming in, right? You're like, okay. And then things slow up, because another reason why I think you guys may be failing, if we can just say it that way, just to get to the point, because again, I have to put emphasis, none of you guys are failures, right? And guess what? Failing just means falling, right? Falling doesn't mean you don't have to get back up. It's about strategy. And I also think too, some of you guys came aboard this business without the understanding that it's strategic, and that it's a sales gig. I've always said that this is a sales job. You have to promote to some degree. You got to pitch. You're either going to be a easy sell person, so to speak. You're either going to be a really good at opening, really good at closing. And that's kind of funny, because open and close, no pun intended, little sense of humor, y'all. I like to think I think I'm funny sometimes, if you guys get my drift. But anyway, you got to be a good opener and closer, and then an opener again. If you, of course, are more on the naughty side of the business. But I say all that to say, number one is definitely expectation and the money you're going to make. You may have looked at vlogs, and she tells you how much she made in one night. Let's say she's like, oh yeah, over the week I've made $2,000. I made over in one night, I made five in one night. And so here you are, a new model coming on, and you feeling inspired, right? But even with inspiration, you ought to be able to have a balance of expectation. In other words, had to learn, be it in my personal and in my webcam life, is that okay, be inspired, have high energy, be optimistic, but also be a realist. Also understand, wait a minute, nothing really happens overnight, right? And if you're a believer like me, if you're according to the Bible, even the world wasn't made in one night, although God had the power to make it in one day, right? Or Rome wasn't built overnight, however you want to see it. So number one is expectation. You're just having too many expectations on making fast money, a lot of fast money too soon, right? Number two, lack of education. Lack of education is basically you didn't study. You studied a few girls, you heard a few women online said that they made the XYZ, you saw a few TikToks, and you decided, I'm going to become a webcam model. I'm going to become an OnlyFans. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to try it out. But you didn't do any extensive education. You didn't talk to someone who actually was either a professional or someone who'd been in the game. Because I promise you this, ladies, if you talk to a woman that has been in the adult entertainment field for a long time, especially as long as I have, all my days were not good days. Let me repeat it. All of my days were not good days. Every day that I logged into webcam modeling, there's been times I've logged in and I've made absolutely zero, maybe 1 cent, because I gotta give some credit put out in the universe, right? So at least I can get 1 cent back. But but I say all that to say there's been times where I didn't really reach my goal. Let's just say that, right? You don't reach your goal all in one day, but let's just say the day after that you log in again, right? Another thing you guys are doing is quitting too soon. And I don't have that on my list, but that does go in the bucket. You go on with those expectations. You lack education. You haven't studied enough by the women. And when I even say education, you're not even studying human sexual behavior. You're not even understanding what it really means when a man is fully erect, or what it really means when your body is doing what it's doing, or what it really means is when you really need a break or you need to back up. Now, I don't mean to sound motherly to some of y'all, but I am 48 years old and I do have a 27-year-old daughter. And just like I tell her, don't let those guys be jugging and ugging you. That's my saying, y'all. That's what I tell her. We joke about it all the time. It's the same principle. So if I had it my way, I would have more webcam models, more OnlyFans models that would keep their clothes and their panties on at longer and a lot longer than they would be taking it off, right? Not because I think it's perverted, not because I don't think they shouldn't show off their body, but because I think of, in this context, the energy. Do you know? Can I say this? I hope you two will allow it. I just got to put this as a sidebar. When, as a woman, when she is a squirter, and I don't know how else to say it, or a woman who has female ejaculation, when she does that, it is imperative that she stays hydrated. That goes into the bucket of education. She must have enough education to understand you can't just sit up in your shows and just keep. You can if you want to, but keep coming, especially if she's a multiple orgasmic woman, such as myself, and not stay hydrated. If you're wondering, why am I getting a headache after my shows? Why do I keep getting headaches? You have to, because I get chronic. For those that need to hear it, that's one thing to be concerned when you put in the bucket, is that as it relates to, again, education, not just being educated by other women in the business, but understanding sexually how your body works, what your body does, what does it mean? Why are you getting the headaches? You could be dehydrated because you stayed up all night sticking foreign objects into your vaginal region, and you're making the money, but you're also putting your health at risk because you're not taking care of your body. So I had to put that out there. Lack of education. So imagine this. Imagine you sit on your show as a webcam model, and you've been on for 3 hours or 8 hours, and you're making the money, but now you're exhausted. Your body is tired. Please, ladies, for those that have never seen the movie, go check out the movie Cam that is on Netflix. I just got to put that out there. It kind of gives an idea of how that can happen. But let's just say your body is dehydrated. Your body is telling you it's time to log off. It's time to rest. And then you wonder why the following day you can't log in. Yes, you may have made your goal and you've reached it, but what is that doing to your body? So that also, again, goes back into the bucket of lack of education. So you're doing things, you're putting yourself out there, you're putting your body out there, you're putting your mind, your time, your space, your energy out there, and you're not really understanding the toll that it may have on your mind, body, and your spirit even, right? So again, that goes into the bucket of lack of education, is why you're probably failing at this thing. You're not studying yourself enough. You're not studying the industry enough. You didn't study your body enough. All you saw was, oh my God, I can make a whole lot of money. And that's all you care about. And you have just tunnel vision on that, right? And so not everybody can take, do I dare put this in a bucket? But again, shout outs to Shira 7. But not every girl and every woman can take Shira 7's approach and be successful with it. That's like anything in life. You have to kind of know your personality. You got to know what you can handle physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, right? Again, education, self-education, Education of the business, education of the body as it relates to sexual education, being understanding how everything works in that regard is very helpful, right? And I say that because of my background in human sexual behavior. Anyway, number three, because I don't want to be too motherly here, y'all. I ain't trying to be everybody's mama. I'm just saying. Number three is um, you compare yourself to other models or other women in the industry. That's huge. That probably should have been number one. One of the reasons why you might be feeling like you're failing at webcam modeling and OnlyFans or any part of the industry, online or otherwise, is because you're comparing yourself to other models. Now, I do advise you guys, as I've always advised women since I used to mentor, it's okay to go online and look up the sites and go look at other women. It's okay to admire other women, check out other models, get an idea, get inspiration, see how they do their shows. It's okay to tune into YouTube and watch other webcam models tell you how their night went, how they made their tips, how they reached their goal. It's okay to gather inspiration. You're only supposed to be looking at those women, and myself included, as inspiration, not as competition. You're only to be looking, and let me write this down because that's a whole nother topic. You are only to be looking at the other women as inspiration. And that's anything in life, ladies, whether you're in the business or not, only looking at women as inspiration, not competition, right? Don't become competitive. And I came back here and I talked about it, you guys. For those that don't know my story, remember, I'm coming out of homelessness to honey. There were moments where the only time I felt a jealous bone in my body ever in life that I can remember, when I was a homeless woman and I would watch other models and I was jealous of the backgrounds that they had because I wanted a background so bad. I wanted my own background, you guys. I mean, whether it was my bed, whether I was going to have sexy stuff in the background, that was something that I wanted because I had never had an opportunity. Keep in mind, you guys, I was a single mother even while I was in the industry, and I had boyfriends. Man, I just wasn't in the right even environment. Even though I was in my own bedroom, in my own privacy, I still never decorated really how I wanted my background to be. So there was many times throughout the years, primarily when I was homeless, and I think this is an important mention, when I was homeless, when I would look at other models and I'd say, damn, wow, she has a nice setup. Her bedroom looks nice. Not realizing that some of those models are actually in studios and they were not in their own place either. Not even taking into consideration that it's possible that that was not their own place too, right? And I just want to put this out here in the universe. There are some times where we can become jealous of other women or other people, of the things they got, and the things they got is not even theirs, that we're jealous about. I just want to say that. In other words, that not even though it may look like everybody is ahead of you, everybody's doing better than you don't know what their story is either. You don't know what their background is either. So that it's really wasted energy. But I say all that to say, if you're going to look and you're going to go onto webcam models or check out OnlyFans or check out other strippers or check out other women's content, go there with the heart set and the mindset of inspiration only. Tell yourself, I'm going over here because I know that we are all sisters, and I'm going to see somebody that's going to inspire me. They're going to motivate me. They're going to get me out of this funk. They're going to give me inspiration and all those things, right? But you don't go over there and start to compare yourself and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe, I'll never be that good. Oh, she's really pretty. I'll never be that pretty. Or, oh my gosh, she's so little. I'll never be that tiny. Or, oh my gosh, she's so thick or big or shapely or voluptuous or sexy. I'll never be that XYZ. And again, these are the things that we don't say out loud, but these are the things that we can carry in our hearts. And I promise you, ladies, if you carry that comparison in your heart, it will show up in your shows. It will show up. I don't care if you're physically doing the work. If your mind and your heart and your spirit is in a low frequency, you are not going to be successful. You're going to be like, but I'm doing everything. I've logged in at the right time. My lighting's perfect. I do have the right background. I did it just like Susie did it. I did it just like how Jelena Nels told me to do it. I did it. I'm doing everything right. You can do everything right and still be just not in the right spirit set. And that comes from a place of self awareness. So even for myself, I had to think to myself when I was comparing myself to those other women, I had to keep reminding myself, Janae, that had to go government. Janae, though your time will come. You will have your place soon. You will decorate soon. And sure enough, my background, my daughter's best friend came over this weekend for her birthday, and when she saw my bed and my canopy and she said, "Oh my gosh!" She goes, "I like your bed area," because I'm in a studio. She said, "I like your bed area. It's so girly. It's like a princess." And I never saw it really like that because I like being girly, but I'm 48 years old. But for her to say it's like a princess, I was like, I guess. But then when I'm thinking in my mind, why is my background like that when I'm supposed to be a soft dom? So when I log into work, the guys see the background, they're probably like, okay, she's a soft dom, she's 48 years old, but my background is really not giving off dom. So I need to get me a whip and put it back. I looked online to find me a whip, you guys. I was like, at least I need to find a pink whip or something. And something that indicates some sense of dominance. So that way I don't want it to be too soft, too pink, too girly. Really? I didn't realize that. So guess what? There's a site when I there is a site that I'm on where I am a little bit more of a dominance, where I'm a little bit more tougher with the fellas. And guess what? When I log into work, I don't log in where my bed is in the background, my bed area. I log in where the couch is in the background or something else in the background to kind of not let them see that until I fix it, because I need to stay in character. That was my point about that. So number 2 was where we're at, you guys. No, we're at number 3. Stop comparing yourself to other models is probably why you're failing in the business. Because you keep on saying, you're seeing yourself and you don't see yourself as good. And again, even if you're doing all the work, you can put in all the physical work. But if your spirit is not worked on or your emotions are not in the right place, you're not going to win. And guess what, ladies? Though the men can pick up on energy. Now, this is a trip. Let me show you how some things work. Depending on what site you're on. Now, this is primarily for webcam models because we do live shows and compared to OnlyFans women. So let's just say you're logged in. For instance, let's just say tonight I log in, and remember, I'm going through premenopausal. Let's just say I'm not really in a horny mood. I'm not in a naughty mood, but I just want to log in, right? Because I've created such a fan base or a clientele, I can log in and I can tell a few of my guys, guess what I can say to them? Hey guys, I'm not having a good day. I'm not. I don't feel as pretty. I don't feel sexy. Woe unto me. There is something about some men that they are drawn to and they find it attractive and or turned on. It might even be sadistic, but they're turned on by women that are sad. They're turned on by women that are, in fact, they have a fetish that's even the crying fetish, that which is more, I think, on the sadistic side of bondage or S&M. I'm not going there, y'all. I stay on the softer side of things. But let's just say, for instance, right now I'm on my girly, right? I'm on my monthly. So let's say I'm cramping and I still log in and I say, oh God, guys, I got a headache. I feel bloated. I feel chubby. I feel fat. I feel terrible. Somebody. And as soon as I say that, I promise you, there will be one man, maybe not many, that will flood me with tips. Because there are some men that'll be like, oh no, goddess, no, you're the most gorgeous goddess in the world. And they will give me that, right? So in some cases and spaces, and again, this is not to my newbie models, you might be seasoned. These are people that kind of know you at your best, right? These are from my seasoned models. And they say, yeah, there's been times I've logged in and cursed guys out. I don't promote that, you guys, but say you log in and you want to be a grumpy bitch, there are men that will tip you because you're mad and you're pissed off, and you can have a story time with them and say, look, there's been a few times that I've gone on to my camp shows and vented about my ex-boyfriend, my ex-lover, and said, do you know what this ninja did? Do you know? And then guess what? Because it's the entertainment field, I can really, really talk about how little his what is, and how he didn't please me in the bedroom, and how it was always frustrating, and how he got on my nerves, and how he thought he was really, really doing something. He's a little, I can really, really go in there. And again, because there are men that love to be humiliated anyway, them hearing this story time is just going to turn them on. And then that's how I make my money. But my point is, that's a true story. So in some cases, I can go on to my broadcast when I have a bad day. but it's still strategic. I can't go on there when I'm having an actual factual grieving mode, something that's extremely important to me. But hell yeah, if I want to vent about my ex or about my period cramps, I can do that. I've been in the business long enough. Me personally, I'll do it every now and again, right? And say, hey guys, I'm not feeling it. Either you want me here, you're gonna have to pay for my time to be here because I'm not in the mood. Some guys like it when a woman's not in the mood because that's when she's her most realest self, right? So I just thought I'd throw that in the bucket. But again, going to comparing, why you may be failing, because you keep comparing yourself to other women. Number 4, consistency, which should have been number 1. Number 4, consistency, 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 consistency. Say it so much to it, you get tongue tied. Consistency, 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 consistency is for me. Everybody say it. Consistency is for me. Is for you. All right? And that I could just stop right there. I don't have to say nothing else. But if you do not be consistent. Now, consistent, let's go here for a second. I'm nowhere near consistent, y'all. See, I told you I can preach it better than I can do it. But I put emphasis because I know, as for me, as a woman in this industry, I could do so much better because when I check my DMs, I can't tell you how many times I've checked my DMs, my messages, and I've had men ask me this one question. Where are you, goddess? Where have you been, goddess? You don't come on as often. Where the hell you been, goddess? I've heard it all. Where the hell you been? What's going on with you? It's been a minute. Wow. Is everything okay? I've heard it all, right? And so I haven't been consistent. But again, if you look, guys know my personal story coming out of homelessness into honey. I'm still getting adjusted to my semi. And God told me to say, stop saying semi and go on and just call it luxury. I'm still getting I'm still getting adjusted to my luxury apartment, y'all. I'm still getting adjusted to the blessings that God has bestowed upon me. So I say all that to say, I'm still struggling with consistency, okay? I promise you guys, who am I to talk? Somebody that knows that if you don't do it, it ain't gonna happen for you. So in other words, I don't care what you may want. If you don't put in the work, if you don't put in the consistent work, it's not going to happen. And what does that look like for some of us, right? Because I think it needs to be dived in a little bit more. Actually, you know what? No. I'm going to save that one all by itself because that one is the most important. So let me write it over here on my notes. Consistency. How you spell consistency, y'all? Consistency. I'm going to say it like 3 times. And that's what we're going to have as the title. So when you guys see that one, I'm going to dive deep on how to. And I hope that this time I follow my own advice. But again, you got to stick with it, y'all. Good days, bad days, you got to still flow. And I'll come back again specifically on that one. In fact, I feel in my spirit, I know I said 3 videos, but I feel like I got to put that one out there because you know how if I'm in the energy of it, I might as well go. This is why I'm in the flow of doing these videos because I'm catching my mood. And I'm like, since I know tomorrow y'all may not get nothing from me, in the next 2 days and the next 3 days, because I know I struggle with consistency. So when I'm in the spirit of it, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Number 5, this is another reason why you may be failing as an OnlyFans model and as a webcam model. Because again, going back to, I think, with number 2, when we talked about lack of education, is because you don't want to see it as work. But it's work. It is absolutely work. It's fun work. It's playful work. It's sexy work. It's naughty. It's just what is it called? Um, it's nasty work. It's kinky work. It's all that, but it's work, right? You have to look at it in that way because if you don't look at it in the way of which goes into the bucket of setting the schedule, which I don't do either, which goes into the bucket of consistency. So if you have to look at it like, okay, this is work. Have a set schedule if you can, right? Have a set time or a roundabout time. It don't have to be exact of when you want to, and see it in the same. Look back at your regular job. If you, for those that are still having a regular job, or if you used to have a regular job, and just try to follow that I would say that program of what it looked like as a regular job, right? And to some of you, if you're anything like me, that's the very reason why you probably don't want to do go back to a regular job, because it sucks, because you are under a program, right? But at least in this particular job, you can log off, you can walk away, you're not going to get fired, right? Because basically you're working for yourself, especially if you're working independently and you're not under a studio, as a webcam model or an OnlyFans model. But I still like to say, having looking at it as a work, as a job, look at it as work, understanding that, if I don't show up, is not going to happen. Even if I have what's called videos on my website, if I don't promote those videos to some degree, if I don't let the guys know that I even have videos, it is work. There's promotions in there. There's where you gotta, when it comes to men, this is one thing that I've learned about men, just generally speaking. Men need guidance, for real, for real. They do. So some men are not going to read your profile. They're not going to read what you got going on. There's times where you're going to have to just put it out there. Hey guys, I just uploaded a new video. So not only do you upload the video, you got to let them know that it's uploaded. And most sites, be it OF and or webcam modeling, what they have is that you can actually promote all of your, let's just say you can do like a group chat or a group message where you, let's say you get all of your guys, let's say it's 20 guys. You can all send them out this one message at one time. So you don't, that saves time, right? So again, promoting it, you have to, just like any business, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think McDonald's, I think Sears, if they're still around, I think any company, Starbucks, advertisement. I don't think none of us would know it the way we know it unless somebody didn't advertise, unless they didn't have the sign that says it's Starbucks, unless people didn't pass the word around and say, hey, they opened up a new coffee shop down the street. So it is important that you spread the word, so to speak. Put out maybe online your, what I'd like to call it, local flyers. Let people know that this is what you do. If you are a woman who has friends in your real or personal life that you have an open conversation with, and you guys are open like that, and they know what you do, promote your business to them. Hey, maybe you can do whatever. That's just a whole nother category. What my point is, because I was going to get into the way of talking about different ways of promoting, but it's work. Promoting your business is work. Doing makeup is work. Getting glammed up and dolled up is work. Uploading the videos is work. Gosh, what else? Da 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 da. Managing yourself, your mood is work. Managing the men that come to your room and or the clients and or customers and or fans that you may have. Managing different platforms is work. Gosh, I'm getting tired just talking about it. I promise I am. And so I get burnt out just like, oh my God, I got so much to do. If you're anywhere like me or other, well, I'm not this kind of way, but there are some people who have OCD. So if you're somewhat of a perfectionist and or have OCD, you're really probably going to struggle, because you're probably going to want those pictures to be perfect, the lighting to be perfect. You're probably going to do your grammar checks to make sure every word is spelled right before you send out that message. You're probably going to have to question over and over again if you, oh God, is that the right thing? Maybe I should make it sound a little bit more kinkier. Maybe I should make it sound not as kinky, because if I make it sound too naughty in the actual promoting of it, that'll turn them on and they might not even want to go. Even when you do your teaser videos, you got to be careful how you do your teaser videos, because it's like, what part of that clip do you want to edit to make sure that they don't get off on the teaser video and then you never get the monies for it. I mean, how much? But again, keep in mind, you guys, a part of this industry, there are losses. You are going to have some guys that you'll be giving away probably more quote unquote free stuff in the beginning until you develop those guys that are going to come through and be for real tippers, big tippers, or consistency in the way that they tip. So it's work. It's work. No matter which way you flip it, it's freaking work. But you have to be able to withstand it and say, okay, this what comes along with it. And what's jacked up is because in the beginning, when you're looking at all these women, and I'm almost out of here, you guys, when you're looking at all of the women that are talking about, be it strippers, be it 304s, be anytime you see somebody get a money. I love when I see strippers who have that little, what's the money maker thingy? You know, the thing that counts the money counter. Love watching it. We love seeing people count their monies and you know, laying it out on the table and saying how much they made that night and what they did. We love looking at the numbers. And for a woman that has a learning disability with numbers, yes, I do, you guys. I have dyscalculia. I'm gonna just say it like that, y'all. I'm not even worried about how I say it anymore. With a woman with dyslexia, when it comes to numbers, basically, I still like seeing the numbers. I understand numbers enough to look at a number and know, okay, that's my goal. Look and see how much that Susie made. Wow, she made a lot. She did good. And of course, not be jealous in that sense, but I love seeing other women win. So that's inspiration to me too, right? So I'm looking at the even OnlyFans, even though I'm not on OnlyFans, but watching OnlyFans models, even when I was on there for just a brief. And I just am more comfortable with going live. I'm more comfortable with the audience that I have now. And I didn't want to go to another platform and rebrand myself or redo the wheel, so to speak. I didn't want to recreate the hamburger. I just wanted to work and do what it is that I know how to do in the space that I know how to do it. And that comes from self-awareness. I know that if I go to another platform and that has a different framework, I'm just going to be spreading myself too thin, because what did I just say? It's still work. So why would I double up the work on me? I would rather just stick to what I know, stick to something I already know I'm approved at, and I don't have to work it trying to bring my guys over, trying to understand whether or not one site will allow me to mention another site. Because there are some webcam sites that are okay with me saying, hey, go check on my OnlyFans or my Snap, guys. And there are some sites that completely prohibits you to do that, right? You'll get suspended. So where you're going to promote, how you're going to promote, what's okay to promote on, what's okay to say. You know, all of these things that go into the bucket of being in this industry. And it would be foolish of us, any of us, or ignorant of us, because ignorant is just not knowing, to come and think that, oh, I'm just gonna do a few little whatevers. And there are some cases where there are women that I don't know if it's because a woman is exceptionally pretty or sexy or whatever. Men like what they like. There are people even on regular social media who have a million followers, because I remember one time I was watching this one girl who got her million followers on TikTok because she got close to the camera and gave a POV with doing something. I think she shook her head or winked her eye. She did something. And that video went viral. And it was just like, I think it was like not even a 15-second clip. I don't think it was that long, right? And everybody tried to figure out what happened. What did she do so amazingly interesting that made people just, click on that video? And of course, because of the hype, and then she got more views because everybody was just looking at the video trying to figure it out. And so I say all that to say, will we ever know? There are people who analyzed the video. There are people who speculated. There was what's it called? Experts who analyze algorithms and what makes a video go viral. It was all of that, right? And some might say, well, oh my God, she didn't do the work. It didn't like she did the work, but she did have prior videos. I don't think it was her first video being put out there, but that's the one that carried her over, right? So in that little quick comparison right there, you guys, as it relates to even social media, content creators have to do the work. And that goes back into the bucket of consistency, and as I'm speaking this thing, I'm speaking it to myself as well. I already know if I ever get to the place where I can be consistent, where I just, can buckle down, so to speak, and really zoom, I know that it's not even so much how much money I'll make in the business, but I can make a consistent amount of a particular size increase in my earnings. You get what I'm saying? For instance, if you don't want your monies to keep fluctuating, your monies to keep going, okay, some days I make 50, and keep in mind, most sites, I don't really know how it works with OnlyFans, but I do know with webcam only, there are some sites that there's no minimum payout, and on other sites there is, where there is. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I don't know what happened. Oh, my phone died. That's what happened. It took a minute. I hope it's just gonna keep on continuing on. But yeah, just to close this out, what was I talking about? I was actually talking about work, that the business is work. I was talking about, why you may be failing at this industry, or seemingly failing. And I did go through those 5 tips with you guys. Those five very important tips. I'm going to go through them one more time just to be clear. So I'm clear because again, my phone had died and I just now turned it back on. So let me grab my notes. Um, let's see. Going back through here on the notes was number one, as a recap, you guys, the number one reason why you may be failing, or one of the reasons why you may be failing as a OnlyFans and or webcam model is expectation. You're expecting to come on and make money right away, make big money right away, especially if you're comparing yourself to someone else that you've heard or that you've seen make a lot of money on her first day, 2 week, whatever. For some of us, it may take longer. Remember, energy is everything. You got to really be able to get to know yourself a little bit more, get into it. And number two is not being educated, the lack of education, not the lack of education as it relates to your body, as it relates to how your body works sexually, because this is the adult entertainment field. That could be one of the reasons. Sometimes, or your failure to want to be educated. The more you know, the more you grow, in this industry. So again, you can't just post a picture of your pretty toes. You might be get a guy that's going to come on and pay you for those toes. But after a while, one thing I've learned about this business is that men get bored easy with the same old, same old. People are quick to say, no, men are simple. No, they're not. And if they were so simple, why do they constantly cheat? Why do they constantly cheat? They cheat for variety. They cheat because they like to see a different variation of the same thing. That's why they cheat. Men like to see a woman who is that's why in some cases the woman that cheats on his wife or woman is a complete opposite of what his wife is, and in some cases the woman can be very similar to the girlfriend and or the wife, because it may be something that it's like the wife or girlfriend, but it varies, or she may add a different type of spice or spunk to a situation or scenario, and it doesn't always have to start out sexually, but that it leads that way. So my point is that men get bored easy, and sometimes because men like variety, like the variety pack of chips, they sometimes feel like Doritos, sometimes they feel like Lay's, sometimes they feel like hot Cheetos. That's men for you. So again, that goes into the bucket of lack of education, understanding men, understanding you. Sometimes maybe you're moody. Maybe you do want to just be in the business for just 5 days or 5 weeks or five whatever, and you could just decide, hey, this is not for me because it's taking too long for me to make. This is why I hear when women say, oh, it didn't work out for me. I've learned to not push, persuade, or try to convince. And even in this video, I'm not trying to convince a woman to stay in something that she know is uncomfortable to her or that is not working out in her favor. If she really practices enough about herself. It's like women who walk up to me who often say, oh my gosh, I love your nails, but I could never do it. I used to say, of course you can, because I'm about girl power. So I don't like hearing a woman say that she can't do anything. So I'm like, you really could if you want to. But now I've grown and I've understood that no, some people know themselves well enough to know that I'm clumsy, that I might break one before I walk out the door, or I don't like the way the heaviness feels on my hands. I don't like, women know themselves. And of course, in that moment, they may not have the chance or feel, obviously, they're not obligated to tell me why they could never do it. Who the heck am I, right? So even in this video, I wanted to be very clear that I'm not trying to persuade or push anyone to be a part of the industry, but you got to practice self-awareness. And if you come to this table and you know that, hey, this is not for me. Sorry, guys, let me close my window. And you realize that this is not for me, then that's good for you, especially if you're a young woman. I've been in the business for over 20 years because it's for me. I like it. I genuinely like entertaining men. I genuinely like dressing up. I genuinely like being sexy. Genuinely like studying human sexual behavior. I love the whole aspect of the positive sides of sexuality. I do. Always have. That will always be me. I've always been intrigued by the healing process of sexuality. How we can heal through our traumas and the wounds and the things we've endured. I am an SA survivor, but that doesn't stop me from being in the industry. That doesn't stop me from entertaining. I have not always had the best of luck with men. I am a DV survivor all day long. And yet I'm in this business, and I don't hate men. I don't feel bitter towards them or anything along the ways. But guess what? I am now careful. I feel like entertaining them at a distance is the safest thing for me. Now, some ladies that may be listening, you may be still wanting to go out and get married and be with a man. It's interesting. I'm in the business, and even if I go out on a date with a man, I can still decenter a man in my spirit. I can decenter him in my mind. You get what I'm saying? I've lived long enough to know that I cannot afford to make men be my everything or the center of my world and all that stuff. No, pay me or kick rocks. That's part of it as it relates to the industry. And I know how to do that where not only I feel good about it, but they feel good too. That's how you get your return customers, by giving these guys an illusion and a sense that you are there specifically for them. That's the type of entertainment. It's like playing. It is not even as like playing a role. It's playing a role. So if you find out that this industry is too taxing for you, and you find that out in the beginning of the industry, sometimes we find it out sooner. Sometimes you don't have to keep on doing something to figure it out to find that it's not for you. Some people know that something is not for them from just looking at how it's set up by observation. Some people have to actually put the work in, or a little bit of the work in, to see. Again, I've been in the business for 15 years, and yet I feel the most safest as it relates to men. I feel safer in the business dealing with men than I do sitting across a table having dinner with a man. That's just me. Some women are opposite. Some women can probably say, I could not imagine being in the business. Oh my God, how do you do it? And I could look at her just like in the movie Players Club, when she said, how do you do what you do? And then the girl said back to her, well, how do you do what you do? Because I'm at a place in my life to where I don't know if I could sit constantly at a dinner table with many strange men and not know their intentions, especially knowing what I know of the business. So I'm okay with knowing that men want sex. I'm very obviously. In fact, I appreciate the man that would be honest, straightforward, and let me know. That's all I want. Right? The scary part is that most men, I don't know how I got here, you guys, but let me flow. But most men won't be honest about that. That's what makes it scary, right? So again, you don't have to, again, I put emphasis on lack of education is one of the reasons why you may be failing. Number three was you're comparing yourself to other people. This is also why marriages don't work and relationships don't work, because a lot of times us women and men or people or couples compare themselves to other couples, other things they see on TV. I know I'm a girly girl. I know I could be watching a chick flick, even though I don't like them. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like them, because I'm extremely idealistic. And if I get caught up watching a chick flick, I'm one of them girls that'll be at 48 years old. I'm quick to say, "Oh, oh." And if I had a man that was not living up to what I seen displayed out on TV from actors and actresses, I'm going to probably start an argument with that man if he don't act like, just like when we watch Bridgerton. And I got to throw this in the bucket. Just when I watched the episode Bridgerton on Netflix, everybody loved the Duke, right? The Duke, he is sexy, he's hot, even though he was a rake. But we love Daphne and the Duke, right? And so in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, wow, what a dream, what a guy. But imagine if I had been in a relationship, that would probably make me look at the guy I was with and go, damn, why can't you be more like Duke? Even though Duke is a fictional character, right? So my point is this, is that the iron is that we are women in the business of giving the fantasy. And there are some women that might look at us and go, why can't you be more like, let's just say me, Jelena, why can't you be, or some guys, there are many men that have said to me often, I wish my girlfriend was like you. I wish my wife was like you. I wish she was more. And I'm like, what do you mean exactly by that? Before I start getting my head and filling my head pumped up by his claims that I'm seeming to be a little bit better than his own wife, which is disgusting to me, to be honest. But I have to investigate. I've always asked questions throughout the industry. What makes me different? What makes me better? Why me instead of her? And when he breaks down to me why that is, I'm like, well, have you talked about it? So my point is that as it relates to comparing any part of the, whether you're in the industry or not, or any part of your life, when you're trying to compare, not trying to, but you happen to look up and see yourself, see you comparing yourself to others, right? You have to wonder why that is, because you'll never be happy. You'll never be satisfied if you keep looking at someone else. That men, the men that come to see women like me in these shows and come see women like us, they will never be really satisfied at home with what they got, because they're doing a comparison. The same as for us as models. You'll never be satisfied with the type of model or entertainer that you are if you keep comparing yourself to some other woman. And the worst thing you could do is compare yourself to somebody who has experience. It would be ridiculous for me to compare my dancing skills, my singing skills, my performing skills, any of my skills to Beyonce. That would be absolutely ridiculous. And that would be absolutely ridiculous. That would be absolutely insane if I think about it. And, make no sense at all, you know? So it's important that we are mindful of who you're comparing yourself to. If you're looking at women online and you go there to check them out, don't compare yourself to how she's making her money. There is a niche or a niche for her specific style. You don't know if she's been in the industry longer. And for the ones that have just gotten started, some girls get lucky like that. It's just, that's just life. Sometimes there are some women that can come on be a part of the industry, be a part of the business, and guess what? In her first 30 days, she has made. I mean, there's women that have gotten on OnlyFans, and I was watching a documentary on how this one girl got on. I think they have a show. This on Is it on Netflix? Where it's all the women that are in the adult entertainment field or something like that. It's on Netflix, that are on OnlyFans, and they all live in a house. I don't know if you guys are familiar. And these are young girls, which I find I can't stand when they're super duper young. Even when I mentored women in the business, y'all got to be 25 plus. Y'all got to be 25. I mean, that's my minimum. Because what do you know at 18? Even though I may sound like I'm contradicting myself, I did start off as a phone sex operator at 18. I even want to say at least do that. At least do that at 18. At least you're on the phone. Stay on the phone is safe. But unfortunately, at 18 years old, you have absolutely no business at 18, 19 years old busting it wide open. Nah, no, 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 no. Absolutely not. It's one thing to talk. It's a whole other thing to do. It makes a difference. It's one thing to talk about fantasy and role play. A whole nother thing, in my opinion, as young as women can be, is to no. I'm totally, totally against that one. Absolutely not. For myself, for my daughter, I have a daughter, two sons. That's just too damn young. You have develop some more, develop your brain. That's one thing I love about that. I started out as a phone sex operator. I was able to listen. I was able to articulate. I was able to hear. I learned different wording, different terminology. Even though the thing was based obviously in sex, but at least there was some sense of education behind it, if that makes sense. But when you're in the industry and you're so-called busting it wide open, not so-called, but actually doing that, and you're that young, what do you know? You don't even know about your own body yet. Don't get me started. You don't even know. You don't even know what you don't even know. You don't even know. All you know is it feels good, but you don't know. You do not know, unfortunately. So I say all that to say, comparing yourself to others, 25 years and plus, I mean, older, hopefully, that are even listening to my content. Give yourself some time, and number three, because this is going on because my phone had died, you guys. Number three is where we at? Oh, number three was comparing yourself. And number four was consistency, which I said I'm gonna come back and do just a total another video and title it consistency. I don't care what you say to me. It's nothing but consistency, right? As a woman in the industry, you gotta be consistent. And number five, finally, you guys, it's coming to the conclusion that it is work. It's work. You gotta work this thing. Nothing really falls from the sky. Nothing, because even right now, I was supposed to be logged on at 10 p.m. It is 10:14 right now, and I'm supposed to get dolled up, go be sitting at my computer or sit at my go be sitting. I mean, sitting at my computer and or my kitchen or on my bed. I didn't know where I was gonna log in, but the truth is, I'm on my period. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to log in. Not because I do explicit shows, because I don't. Majority of my shows, as you guys know, is 98% of them, not 100, but 98% is my clothes are on. So it's not a matter of, oh, how do I, do my shows, which I did a video on that years ago. What do you do when you're on your girly? What shows you do? And I'll just put this in the bucket since I'm here. Have variety. If you're a cow model or OF girl, then you just add variety to your shows. Do different types of things in your shows. So when the days that you're on your period, you don't have to worry about that because he may want feed, or you cater to the guys that may want you to just, lick your lips or sip through a straw or burp or something, right? Anywho, so for me, it's now 10:15, and I've been talking on my lives to only probably one or two, three, no more than probably five people. And that's okay, because when it goes out in the universe, that there it is. I did my part. But yeah, and I'm proud of myself. I'm proud that I got back on YouTube, y'all. I'm proud that I came back here and starting to put my stuff back out here, because this is where I feel this is where I started. This is like home to me. I'm in my new home. I've been in my new home for 5 months now. And I said, well, if I'm in home, I might as well go back home, if that makes sense. So I'm here to do what I've always done with a different flair, because I am in my 40s now and things have changed. And yet I still promote the same way. Never do anything you don't feel comfortable with doing. Even, I just add a little bit extra on it, even if he paid you already. I'll come back and really break that down. But yeah, so the next video, you guys, if you're going to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead and thumbs up the video. Definitely would appreciate that. So I know that I wasn't really just talking to the wind. But it's okay. I'm just, again, proud of myself for coming back and running my mouth. I was just looking at my old videos of when I was homeless, when I was in my van. And, I still have those videos right here at YouTube. They're just private, And I was just like, wow, I have come a long way. And I just really got to get to this consistency thing and get that together. So let me, I don't know. I'm on, like I said, I'm on my period. I got a slight headache. I ate already. To be honest, I think I might need to go to bed. I'm going to listen to my body. My body is telling me I need more rest and water. And that's what I'm going to do. And so what I'm going to try to do, guys, is I'm going to try to wake up bright, shy, bushy-tailed in the morning and bring you guys some more goodies. I'm going to do the same format. I'll be live in other words, I like this easier because all I got to do is click the live button instead of doing a video and then uploading it and hoping that. So I like this. It's a lot easier, these audios. And then on my Thursdays and my Sundays, I'll try to actually go physically live where you guys can see me. Or whenever the spirit moves, or I might go live when I, am dolled up. But at least I know I don't have to put that kind of pressure on myself, right? That's another reason why I think I'm going to throw this in as a bonus. I think another reason why we fail in this business, or seemingly fail, is because either we're putting too much work on ourselves. You're burning out too soon. You're burning and crashing. You're crashing too soon because you said, oh, you come in with a flood. You try to do so much at once. And you have to remember, business like this, 9 times out of 10, if you're in the adult entertainment field, ladies, not even for the men, but primarily for the ladies, you will be doing this by your damn self. You will be doing this alone. It's going to get lonely. It might feel lonely because who in the heck do you have that's so close to you? If you're anything like me, you may not have anybody that's so close to you that you can sit and talk to them and say, hey, look what kind of day I had at my job. You may not have a friend or someone who's going to help you put your camera or your lighting together, or tell you what outfit is the best outfit that you should wear, or that's going to give you that feedback to tell you how pretty or sexy you look that day, or say, oh, girl, you're killing it. You're going to knock them dead in your show. And I feel like that's my calling. I won't say it's my job, but I do feel like it's part of my calling is to encourage women like me where you're at. That number one, God will meet you right where you're at. You don't have to sit and wait for somebody else to give you the approval to feel okay to do this or be in this business if it's truly what you really want to do. The other portion of that is that when you, even as you truly want to do it, don't overload yourself. Don't put so much on you. Trust me, there's times when I'm in a mood, and like right now, I'm doing my lives, but I don't know what I'm going to feel like tomorrow. You guys probably will see tumbleweeds for a couple of days, but all I ask is you guys be patient with me. Don't take it personal. Again, 48 years old, I still get my headaches. Sometimes I'm cranky. Sometimes I'm not cranky, but just moody. I have low energy. Right? Coffee is really not helping. I just want to let from to my 40 and overs. These coffee, I definitely don't drink energy drinks. I'm not into energy drinks. But anyway, but I say all that to say it's all good. I will be back hopefully tomorrow in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and I know I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I'm gonna eat me a little. I had made me like a seafood boil, a miniature seafood boil without all the stuff in there. I don't even know if you could call it a seafood boil, but yeah, I don't. It's shrimp and rice to say the least, with the seafood boiled juice or a liquid sauce, whatever. Made that with some cornbread, and I'm gonna eat that. Finish watching my movie, yeah, y'all, and I think I'm just going to go to bed, and then hopefully I get up on time. I'm gonna put some really good music on, some motivation, get my day started, and hey, she's back. I don't know. I think I'm back tonight. I don't know what I'll be doing tomorrow, but let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best, you guys. But thank you for those that have tuned in a little bit to hear me run my mouth once again. God bless each and every one of you. And remember, to my cam models, know that all things are possible when you believe. Know that God loves you. He meets you right where you're at, even as naughty as you are. But to my younger models that may be listening, please, if you can avoid, don't put yourself out there too soon. Don't put your body out there in the way for it to be overly exploited, if that makes sense to you, for you to be overly used up and used, right? Preserve some of your energy, preserve your youth, preserve your essence, right? Even though while we're in this industry, we still have to watch our energies, our essence. There are men that love to cipher women's energies and stuff that we will feel depleted at. That's what I was talking about earlier. We'll feel tired, we'll feel drained. If you do pray, if you do meditate, if you light candles, if you're spiritually inclined, pray, meditate, do whatever you do, even do that before your shows. I think it's important, right? I think it's extremely important. And other than that, you guys will hear me and see me in the next one. We'll have to go eat, finish watching my movie, go to sleep. And happy camming. And to my OF girls, yeah, you just got to know that's work too. Everything that I said here is applied to you as well. And yeah, just love what you do and allow it to love you back. Anywho, bye for now. Kisses.